Alright.
Endless defense.
Next section of the layer
You'll find
series.
targets ready for you
Now
on
we
the course
have
to
the setup
eliminate.
for
Good
basement.
to go. Exit through the prospect.
And here we go. These two mute jammers will cover the whole hallway, and they can't drone down this hall. Typically, this is not going to be Mute's job. This is going to be the Bandit, and this is the path I recommend to take when you're going to go do your shit. Everybody who's going to reinforce those walls, the walls that are going to be reinforced first are going to be prioritized to be Bandits, because Bandit will be roaming. So he can put his Bandits down, then he can get upstairs and reinforce the two hatches within the 30 seconds allotted. I would recommend doing the armory one first, because that is the easiest one to, or that one actually has the most cover for you, so you can get it while the round has actually started. Okay, starting that, that's how the site setup's gonna go, especially for mute. That's your 4 mute spots. There's your footholes. Echo's going to be playing in this corner by lockers. I'll get to that in a second. Those 2 mute jammers will cover the whole hallway. You're going to be playing missile, and you can hold with a shotgun. You know, you just stop any type of rush. Somebody rushes you, you can just fucking drop shot them or some shit. If you get pushed out and you lose lockers, and if you feel like you're too pushed, and if you get this wall, or you feel like you're going to be pushed out of missile, back up into Toxin, and you can play. If the hatch is broken, I would not recommend playing in Toxin, but if they get vert, or like something like that, you just back up to Toxin. If Toxin's exposed, you can back up from Toxin, come play in stock. You can hold stock. Or if nobody's if they have the vert open and they're not pressuring you out of Toxin, you can stay inside of Toxin and be just fine. And you know, you keep holding the space as much as you can. Alright, going forward, let's get Echo down. Alright, so you're going to get one in warehouse, and then I think the next one you're going to want to have is most likely going to be somewhere around the missile to somewhere on site. I think honestly site is going to be your best bet for this cam, because you want to have one as your backup, and this will be your safe cam. Like, you can deny plants and everything. If we get to the point where in the round you're going to have somebody that's going to be playing in missile, and then you're also gonna have your Goyo or me, who is going to be, or the Maestro, who is going to be playing around lab. If it is, just make sure to be checking your cams around warehouse, so that you know you're not going to get pushed out immediately. This has warehouse. You can stun warehouse. You can get your thing. You can get your intel. You can always come drone back towards lockers. You get your information on lockers. I personally think that Echo is a bit of a high ceiling, so I think the best Echo play that we can go for to help out our roamer and helping out Bandit would be to, you can actually have a drone off of site and wherever he is roaming. So let's say he wants to start top mez. You know, you can go station your first drone over in top mez, and when he's getting pushed, you know, let's say somebody's pushing around this corner and he is playing down this hallway, they swing, you shock them, he gets a free pick, he gets an easier pick. It just helps alleviate some of the pressure that he's going to be having. But I think that the best place for you to play is going to be sitting in this lockers corner. Like, you can hold lockers from this corner pretty well. You know, you got the deployable so they can't just run in. You can put that in the doorway if you would like, if that makes the things a little bit easier. So you can control footholds. If no one's coming that side, you can hold across. If you're getting pushed, same thing like mute. If you're getting pushed out, your best friend is to play back here on labs, because there is vert for it, but the most common vert is going to be along this strip, and you're going to be wanting to play labs. And if you need to back up to get on your cams, you go inside this little hallway. You go inside closet. You know, it's kind of just, you play where you can and you try and hold your area as best as possible. The Maestro cams I will have set up are going to be these ones. And that's going to hold crosses with everybody else, and I will be on cams for majority of the round holding crosses. Now, I can either put my cam here on the labs, or I could put it on the corner over here and try and help for lockers. I think that it would be better spent over in site to deny plant. Let's just say if the Echo drone gets broken, I then can have a Maestro to help you out. And I'll typically be playing this, and my sight lines is going to be the lab openings. I'll have vents. I'll have a little bit of that door. I'll be able to see them walking around in lab. I have this one in lab, so I have a decent cross for everything, and then I have a good cross. Next up, the Goyo spots. Pretty simple, honestly. Considering that the best push spot for these sites is going to be from lockers, because it gives them the most space to work with, I like to put 2 on labs. I like to put 2 on the locker push, because that's where their default run-in's going to be. I like to have 1 on vents, because that's where their default is, right there. If they're pushing stock, sometimes people will push stock. I like to put 1 here so you can deny the stock. If you're getting pushed from toxin, you need to alleviate that and pop it. You can just not have to worry about it for a minute, because that's all that is. Bandit, pretty self-explanatory as to what the picture says. You're gonna be following pretty much this path. You're gonna be wanting to come over here. You're gonna want to get closet walls. hatch number 1, run around through maintenance, hatch number 2. And if that takes too long, then we could always just work it around, and maybe we can have... Maybe we don't need to get the closet walls, and we just need to get missile and the hatches, and that, you know, we'll just see how the time works out. I don't actually know what the exact time it takes to do that, and it's depending on what happens. So that is basically everything for first floor. My recommendation, I think that for Rome, the best place to start for Rome on this map, in my opinion, is going to be over here in top mez, I feel like, because then you get plenty of space here, because sometimes I see a lot of people that want to come in from ops and clear top down, so you might be able to get an easy pick there. And then, you know, sometimes you see them I haven't seen anybody come on this side of the map in a while. Sometimes they come in over by medical, over on the other side. You know, you can control reception door. You can come down and control and try and retake maintenance. So that's everything for this site.